Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dice Cast. I am Russell-san, and with me I have.
Fishman.
Well, last we left off, Aquans and Jonas had, well, managed what probably seemed impossible. Their
Children.
coalition of adventurers managed to slay a dragon.
Adult dragon.
Yes. Illuyanka, the adult blue dragon, which had been plaguing Lyria for the past few months, has finally been slain.
And technically, I think it was only about four of the coalition that, participated.
Yes, there was varying degrees of success from member to member.
Yeah.
However, it went quite well.
Yeah, I think, well, four of us. Well, actually, yeah, four members carried that whole thing.
Anyway, not really important, though. One of us did get the killing blow.
Yes.
Yep.
After being blind for half the fight.
Yeah, I did. Well, it's all that matters, really. The dragon is dead.
Yes.
Which, of course, leads into the next problem after killing a dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Dealing with its horde.
A ridiculous amount of magic and money.
So that is likely what this session is going to largely be dealing with. A lot of
Yep.
housekeeping from that. There are a couple of other things. The first thing, of course, is slaying a dragon is an impressive milestone. So we reached 9th level.
Yay.
And we gain access to new level spells. The other main housekeeping thing before we get dealing with the horde itself is we are going to be changing some of the rules for 5th edition here.
Yeah.
Because well, as we've been playing over our campaign, we've come to the conclusion that the way healing works in 5th edition is ridiculous.
Yeah, it makes a lot of things like basic healing potions and low level stuff like that completely useless.
Yeah. Basically, it is absurd the fact that we could fight a dragon, go to sleep for the night, and wake up perfectly fine. So we're going to be changing how we heal at the end of long rests and short rests, obviously.
Yep.
Spell slot management is going to remain the same, but hit points are we're going to be implementing a ruling from the older editions, let's say.
Yeah, way back to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
So as opposed to us just automatically healing and us rolling our hit dice for short rests, whenever we take rests now, we're going to be gaining back, well, 1 hit point plus our constitutions. Because
Constitution modifier.
Constitution modifier, because we've established that that should come into it, because someone with an 18 constitution should heal more than someone with a 10.
Yes.
Yes. So that is what we're going to be going with forward, because it's been bugging us for a long time now that we can just be utterly brutalized and
Have a nap and feel fine.
go to bed and then be perfectly fine in the morning. This also will probably slow the pace of our adventure a little bit in the in-game world.
I don't think so.
Well, we'll see.
We're going to be more careful.
Yes.
We're going to have to do a lot more resource management.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that going forward. We've already reset our character sheets from the end of the last session.
Yeah.
So if we took any damage, I don't. Some of us did. I don't remember how bad it was though.
I had the ceiling land on me.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were relatively unscathed by comparison. Anyway, so that will be going forward now.
Yep.
However, the main thing we're going to be dealing with is obviously the Dragon's Horde, and we're going to have some downtime after that because slaying a dragon is a massive achievement, and I think our characters are due a little rest.
Yes.
So, needless to say, the Dragon's Horde possesses more treasure than any of us can carry on us.
Oh, yeah, even with bags of holding.
Even with bags of holding.
It's a ridiculous amount of money.
Yes, so We discussed this,
Yep.
and the conclusion we came to is
The Bilbo Baggins approach.
yes. So, what that means for anyone who hasn't read The Hobbit,
Oh, come on. Who watches D&D and plays D&D who hasn't read The Hobbit? That can't be
they
that many.
exist, I suspect. We're basically each going to be taking a small chest and filling it with gold and gems for all those purposes. What this is actually going to amount to is we agreed to bring up our current gold piece count to 5,000 gold pieces. And we also added some gems onto our already substantial pile of gems that we've been hanging on to.
You know, that means I'll be only taking 973 gold pieces.
It may not necessarily work out best, but the other reason we want to do that is because there are other spells that we're going to want to add to our spellbook because we just gained access to a brand new spell level.
Yes.
Yes.
More important.
Also, there is another thing of note is that gold is not going to be the only thing that is in a dragon's hoard.
No.
There are a large number of magic items in a dragon's hoard, which are going to catch our characters' interests as well.
Yes.
And
I
as
know
much
important.
as we would probably just like to take everything in the hoard with us, that's infeasible. That's again just as infeasible as taking the entire hoard's wealth.
Yeah. There's
Not to
uh,
mention the fact that there were 8 other adventurers,
yeah.
all of whom have claim to the treasure. So basically, we also, rather than roll up everything in the hoard, again off camera, we discussed what was and what was not reasonable for. All right. So, do you want to say what magic item you're taking from the hoard?
Sure. Ring of Wizardry does not exist in 5th edition rules.
No, but we've basically created our own version of the older Rings of Wizardry to add.
So I'm going to be taking a minor Ring of Wizardry, which is going to give me an additional first, an additional second, an additional third level spell.
Yeah, spell slots, basically.
Yes. Yeah, that can cast per day. It's none of this doubling stuff because that just gets really
No, the
ridiculous.
older rings would have been a little too powerful for
Yeah.
5th edition. So, yes, that's the main magic item you're taking.
My only magic item.
Yeah, it is worth quite a bit.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's priceless. It's unique.
Anyway, well, it's not going to be unique.
Yeah.
But yes, they're but very rare, to say the least.
Yeah.
All right, I am also taking a magical item. In my case, it's a magical book because I've been collecting those, but this one is the Manual of Bodily Health, whose magic can fortify my constitution, because I had to give up the Iron Stone. Well, I chose to give up the Iron Stone
Yeah.
a little while back, and I've kind of been missing the hit point bonus and the constitution bonus it gave me. So reading this book, which is I think it's 48 hours, which is 8 hours over 6 days, will bump my constitution back up to where I was at 20.
Yep.
And technically raise the cap of my constitution, but I doubt it's going to come up.
Who knows?
Who knows? Anyway, so those are the main magic items we're going to be taking.
Yes.
The There also will obviously be some minor magic items like potions or scrolls we might take or might add to our character sheets, but those aren't quite as important. Also, we're not going into great detail about what the other adventurers are going to take because, again, it would just add an awful lot of work for no real reason.
And we made them up.
Yeah,
So if we run into them again, maybe we'll go into that sort of detail.
yeah, it's not important. It's basically just going to be hand waving for the most part. Anything that basically we cannot take on is going to obviously get transported back to Illyria at some point and end up probably being spent on repairing the damage the dragon caused and
Yeah.
sending monetary remunerations or
Yeah.
okay to the various villagers who lost family members to the dragon and her cult.
Reminds me of a Magic the Gathering card.
What's that?
Sorry, I burned down your village. Have some gold. Here's some gold.
Oh,
I think that was a caption for it. Can't remember. That was a long time ago.
okay. Anyway, so where we are actually going to be picking up is we're going to also glaze over the fact that we have to travel back to Lyria. The Archmage had teleported in, possibly to help us deal with the dragon at the end, but he's also going to help us all get back and start seeing to that
There's gonna be an awful
very
lot of, well, identifiers need to be cast. A lot of
yes.
things need to be packed, and they need to get a ship over here to. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of grueling work for somebody, but not us.
Yes, but not us. No. Our grueling work is done. We killed the dragon. That's someone else's job.
Yep.
And no one is going to argue with us on that, I don't think.
No, I'm pretty sure we're good that way.
So, we are going to be picking up once we actually get back into Lyria.
Yep.
We are going to definitely get our long rest at some point, and probably a few besides that.
Yeah, some time's going to go by.
Right. So, now we get to the actual housekeeping stuff of what we actually want to do with all this new wealth. You're going to want to attune to your ring, I suspect.
Yes.
All right. Well, that is going to take no time at all.
An hour.
Yeah, we are also, like I said, we're due some downtime, so I think we're going to start there. So,
Yes, there's a few spells I want.
yeah, and I have a book to read, and I have a few spells I want. So we're probably going to get at least a couple of weeks of downtime.
Yep. The other thing I want to do is I want to start research on a new spell idea I have.
Okay. All right, I also need to get a material focus commissioned for one of my new spells I got for reaching ninth level.
Yep.
So,
Now you decided what it's going to be, what form it's going to take.
I think I've come to that. Yes. So where do you want to start is the question.
Uh, well, attuning my ring is nothing.
Yes, that doesn't require anything really.
Going up levels, I took 2 spells. That's fine.
Yeah.
There's 2 more spells I would like to purchase out of all this nonsense that we have.
I thought there was three.
Sure, 3 is fine. I mean, I have a list here that of spells for 5th level that I'm interested in, so 3 is fine too.
Yeah. Well, the reason I say that is because I am going to be adding 3 spells to my spellbook.
Oh, all right, so I'll do that too then. And the other thing I do, of course, is I need to roll for my research for my new spell.
Yes. All right. So, because needless to say, we're basically being very, very generous with the amount of gold that we are not taking.
Yeah, as in mounds of it.
Yes. Part of our reward from the city, in addition to that, is probably going to come down to the fact that they're going to look on the fact that the spells we're going to want to buy and research and add to our spell books and the materials required are basically being paid for.
Sure.
And to also expedite matters, because we would normally have to get them from scrolls, we're basically going to, for all intents and purposes, be given some advanced tutelage for all intents and purposes for these spells we're looking for. It's
Well,
just a way of basically meaning we're basically going to have a wizard who knows those spells that we're after in the academy help us copy them from their spellbook with their supervision, obviously.
so that we don't have to roll, you mean?
Yes, so we don't have to roll.
Sure.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. I don't think either of us have ever failed.
Well, we are getting to the point where spells are getting more difficult.
True.
Uh, well, we basically have done quite a bit for the city at this point, and this is the Archmage is basically deeming this as a worthy reward for us.
Well, yeah. For all intents and purposes, we are due.
Yes. So, is like as I said, where do you want to actually start with this?
Uh, well, none of that really matters. The spells I'll write down.
Yeah, but we do have to say it. We do have to say things on camera, so
Oh,
or we
okay.
don't have an episode.
All right. My leveling up. I want to take obviously Bigby's hand because I really like that spell.
Yeah, you've already used it, sort of.
Yeah, I got a scroll from our buddy there.
Mhm.
Uh, and then of course Conjure Elemental. I want that. So those are my leveling up spells. And then from these guys, I want to take Dawn. And the reason for that is it is one uh damage type that we have no access to at the moment.
Yeah, Radiant.
Yeah. And way back when we did run into Vampire, and we know that the Court of the Seven has a whole branch of vampires.
We've actually run into 3 vampires.
Ludmilla.
Yep, the sorceress, yes, her.
Yeah. Who else?
The one in the manner of separate, in the
Oh, yeah, I forgot about her.
yeah, and then the Kudlak in the village of the Kresnik.
Yeah, without we were mostly just observers on that particular battle.
I just say we've encountered more than one vampire.
Yeah. So I want to get Dawn because, like I said, that covers um, a type of, well, a whole branch of damage that I don't have yet.
Yes.
Oh, what kind of caught my eye was Fire Step. It's kind of an interesting way of not, being there when they want to kill you.
Yes, it's a bit like Misty Step, except it doesn't end and it goes a bit further.
Yeah, and you can do it every round for a minute, I think.
Yes, it's concentration.
Yep. The other one I'm thinking about is Immolation.
No, good grief, that one sounds nasty.
I know it's just a really big, nasty fire spell. Targeting only one thing, of course, but as long as I'm concentrating and they don't make their saving throw,
Yeah.
they just keep on taking damage. Could come in handy. That's basically what I want for that. So that's 5 good spells. Should
Well, 3 because 2 of
Oh
them you
yeah,
spent your leveling up.
yeah. Total for me, it's 5 spells.
Yes. So we basically came to the same conclusion that we basically were going to add 3 additional 5th level spells to our spell book.
Yes.
All right.
The
So
other the other thing I want to do is it's been my habit ever since I got the spell to make a scroll of dispel magic for each new spell level I get. So currently I have a dispel magic scroll for 3rd level that casts at 3rd level. I have one that casts at 4th level, and I would
yes.
like to make one that casts at 5th level.
Yeah, we can easily get that in, but that's
Yep.
going to actually require a roll. So do you want to roll for that on the first
Sure.
day?
No, I might as well start there, I guess.
Okay.
One sec here. I need to check. Yep, yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I need to wait for the day that and have enhanced ability prepared.
Well,
Doesn't that
why
fix it?
can't you just prepare enhance ability?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I
Yeah.
don't. I didn't have it prepared, obviously, for the dragon fight. That's all.
No, but we're basically getting downtime here, so you can prepare it if you want.
Yes. So I'm gonna cast that before I roll.
Okay, so you cast enhance ability.
Yep. And then I'm gonna try and make this roll.
Right?
Oh, I didn't even need it. 19 plus my intelligence modifier, so we're
All
good.
right. So you've made the 5th level dispel magic scroll.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm quite full of for scrolls at the moment. I prepared a bunch of them for the dragon fight and then spent half the fight blind. I still
Uh,
managed to kill the dragon.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
meant I did not get targeted.
You were not in you weren't of a concern because well, yeah, basically everybody else was doing more to it at that point.
Yeah. Well, it was the dragon's mistake.
Yeah.
All right. So on my end of things, the 3 spells that I want to add to my spell book from our treasure here
Yeah.
is the first one is Contact Other Plane, which is a high level divination ritual spell
Yep.
that allows me to, well, as the name suggests, contact an extraplanar intelligence to ask it some questions in hope of gaining answers to where we need to whatever our current problems are. Another one.
That's gonna be
uh,
interesting, that one, by the way.
what?
That one's gonna be interesting.
Yes, it is. It's going to be a very interesting one when it finally does come up. The next one is also a divination spell, Telepathic Bond, which enables me to basically telepathically link, I think it's up to 10 creatures together,
Yep.
which is overkill, and there's just the two of us. However, we tend to do an awful lot of infiltrating and stealth, and this helps us so we don't have to worry about rolling stealth checks every time we want to whisper something to one another.
Yeah, that'd be very useful.
Yeah. Also, the spell works at any distance, so as long as you're on the same plane of existence. So,
Yeah.
if we in the events that we split up, which has happened before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the third spell of my choice was Wall of Force, which is a high level protection spell because it lets me basically create a field of magic energy which nothing physically can pass through. So that blocks melee troops off from us, monsters, arrows, that sort of thing, and we can still cast spells through it.
Yep.
The other thing I need to do, obviously, is, as I said, I need to get a material focus made because one of the spells I picked up for reaching 9th level was scrying.
Yep.
And that requires an expensive material focus worth 1,000 gold pieces, which I'm going to need to get commissioned.
Yes. Did you say which shape it was gonna take?
So the choices are a crystal ball, a basically I think it's like a silver mirror or font of holy water. So apart from the obvious fact it's not the holy water one.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Oh, I think you should go this route.
All right, that's your silver, yeah, silver mirrors. See, the issue with that is quite large and bulky.
Well, it doesn't have to be that big, does it?
No, just has to cost 1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
However, as much as a fan of I am of the Palantir approach, I actually
Yeah.
think what?
I said, yeah.
The thought I had was the fact I actually was going to go the silver mirror route because we've already encountered a basilisk once in our adventures,
Yep.
and there are other creatures that have petrifying gazes, and one of the advantages to having a mirror on hand is you can turn their gaze back on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking of going the magic mirror approach for scrying instead of getting the silver mirror commissioned.
Okay.
So one of the days in which we're going to be getting the downtime here,
Yep.
we're going to go to Rosemary's and ask her to commission the crafting of that spell component for me because it's going to take a highly skilled amount of craftsmanship to do so, and she
Yep.
specializes in magical items and well, just the general magic stuff. So she has the skills necessary to craft such an object.
On top of that, it'd be her rolling and not you
Or what?
for its construction.
Oh, yeah, I can't make this. I don't think.
No, probably not.
All right, and for 8 hours a day, or possibly even broken up a bit more, but for the first for at least the first week of downtime,
Yep.
I'm going to be spending as much time as I can each day reading from the Manual of Bodily Health.
Yes.
Now, considering there is no role for that,
No, you just have to
yeah,
do it.
yeah, basically, I'm just going to actually do that, and which means over the course of, like I said, we'll say the first 7 days, just to balance it out. After which time I get my +2 to my Constitution.
Yeah.
All right, and I get 9 extra hit points.
So now you have two scores that are 20.
Yes.
And I have none.
Yeah. So we now have. So I'm going to, and obviously, once I finish reading the book, I'm going to
Yep.
donate that to the library in Illyria because it doesn't regain its magic for a century.
Yeah, it'll sit there with a little plaque on it, and every year they'll change the number by one.
Yeah, like they have a few others there.
Yep.
So now they have one more. I don't think anyone's going to object to me donating it.
No.
So I've got my constitution back to where it was. It's probably going to take a little while longer for the mirror to be ready. We're going to be adding the spells to our spell books. Is there anything else you want to do?
The only other thing is my spell research.
Yes, we should probably move on to that and cover that now.
Sure. Sometime during that week that you're going to be doing that, I will be doing this.
All right.
All right, first roll.
So would you want to describe the spell?
Should I, or just save it for when well, fine.
It's up to you.
It's
What do you want to do?
gonna be a fourth level spell. It doesn't really matter much because it's gonna be a ritual spell. But I
Well, it
want
does
to,
literally matter. You have to specify.
yeah, it's going to be an improvement upon Leomid's tiny hut because one problem with the hut is it's a dome, and it's obviously a dome, and it's always going to look like a dome. And we're getting to the point now where creatures are going to be able to say, "Hey, that doesn't belong here," and have the ability to dispel it.
Yes, we haven't run into anyone who could dispel the. Well, no, we did actually. We've run into that literally.
Yeah.
It was a wizard, obviously, that did that, but we've already had encounters where creatures have noticed the hut.
Yes. So what I want to do is it's going to be Leomid's tiny hut,
Yep.
uh, but it is going to have a chameleon aspect to it. It's going to blend into the background.
Yep.
Wherever we are, if there's rocks and trees and stuff, it's going to look like part of the background. So creatures that physically interact with it, they're going to interact with a rock or whatever, log,
Okay.
bunch of boxes, whatever. So unless they have sufficient intelligence to say, why can't I lift this box kind of thing?
Yeah.
Uh, it's not foolproof, but I think it'll be,
No, but it's better than what we've been using.
yeah. And the other thing I want it to do is last a little longer. 8 hours is all we need for rest, but sometimes, like in winter, you're getting out in the middle of the dark. So I wanted to last 12 hours.
All right. So it's going to be lasting half a day.
Yeah. So not a
Apart
big
from that,
deal.
it's basically going to be the same as the tiny hut spell, though.
Everything else can be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just
So,
improving on an existing spell. Yeah. So that is
yep.
obviously an option that wizards have.
Yeah. And my first set of rolls was a fail, so I'm gonna use my luck.
Yeah.
Another point of luck. Oh, success.
All right. So that's your first success.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, since we're just basically going over at least the first week here, you can make your next two rolls if you want.
Okay.
I have I'm just gonna before you
Oh,
roll,
natural 20.
never
So
mind.
natural 20 does what natural 20 does.
Yeah, that's two successes. So because it's a fourth level spell you're researching, you have to spend 8 days of research on it,
Yep.
regardless. So you're going to basically be working on this well into the second week of our downtime.
Yep.
And you've already made your rolls, and you basically already have the materials. So yeah, you can add whatever you want to call this to your spell book.
Yeah, I'm not very good at that part.
Hmm.
I'll figure something out. Right now,
Okay.
I've written down camo hut.
Okay.
So obviously, that's not going to be the name.
No.
But yeah, I'll figure that out. But yeah, it's pretty useful, I think.
All right.
And that's it. That's all I want to do.
All right. So all of that is going to happen some point during those 2 weeks
Yes.
because we do have plenty of time. However, during those 2 weeks, we are going to start nearing the end of winter
Yeah, shouldn't it be over
and
by now?
moving into spring.
Yeah.
So Lyria,
Goes back to looking like this.
yes, the snow will start to melt over those 2 weeks, and the temperatures will warm up, the
Yep.
ice will go away, and the green grass will start to come out, and the trees start to get their leaves back. And as is quite often with spring after a winter, and also the slaying of dragon, Lyria starts to get back to normal.
Yep. Oh, the other thing I want to do because it's warmer now is I'm going to switch my stone back to constitutions.
Yes, sorry. As
Yeah.
opposed to whatever it was last time, which was lightning resistance because we were fighting a dragon.
Yeah. And then cold and yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's switched back.
Yep.
The other the so we've been during those 2 weeks, repairs have started on reinstalling the artillery arcanum at the
Yep.
top of the tower of the Magic Academy.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a new graphic where on the last one where it was destroyed, but
It's not really necessary.
no.
No.
Obviously they're gonna fix that because it's
They're fixing that, and they've also some of the money's gone to resurrecting that deceased member of the team.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because one of them did die. The other two were hardy enough to pull through from
Yeah.
the dragon attack. And needless to say, things are starting to look much like they were before the dragon. Basically, when we first got to Lyria.
Yeah. It's funny how things kind of escalate whenever we show up.
Well, now they're dying down, it seems.
Yeah.
So this is so we're gonna basically pick up after our downtime, which is so after those 2 weeks.
Yep.
Well, we've been basically doing quite a bit of research in Lyria, and we're a little blurry-eyed from all of that, and getting a little tired of being indoors all the time for the
Yep.
moment from all that hard research and hard work we're having to do.
And also it's spring now.
And it's spring now, yes. So we basically for change of scenery, have decided to basically walk around the city a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're enjoying the fresh air, and everything does seem to be, again, there's people about now. The panic and paranoia that the dragon caused has died with it.
Yep.
And it's almost, if you're wandering around town, it's almost like it never happened, apart from the obvious fact that there's still repairs going on at the tower in the academy.
Yes.
Yes. And people seem to be going back about their daily lives, and so there's gossip going about, obviously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what people do.
Yes. And I would like you to make a perception check.
Sure. Oh, sorry. Somebody's here wants something.
What do you want?
Entertainment. Out of that or out. All right. Perception. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Natural 20. Two
Wow.
weight rolls.
All right. Well, from that, you're able to determine quite quickly that apparently there's rumors of a relatively large number of people heading towards Lyria. That has just been word being passed around by various merchants and travelers at the moment that there's a group of people heading towards Lyria, and apparently they're expected to arrive sometime today.
Okay. I'll get my owl out. She's
Yeah.
probably wants to stretch her wings anyway, because I don't think I've had her out well since before the dragon anyway.
I do not know how exactly how much stretching familiars need to do, but okay.
So anyway, I will have her fly in that direction.
All right. So
See what I can
apparently,
see.
sorry.
See what I can see.
All right. Apparently, according to the rumors you've heard, these people are coming down the same road that we came down to get here.
Okay.
So your owl is going to be flying off, and
Yep.
I assume you're going to be perceiving through her senses.
Yep. Shouldn't take her long.
No. So let's have the perception check then for this roll.
16.
16. All right. Well, needless to say, your owl flies quite quickly.
Yes.
And considering your owl was able to fly from the plateau to Vern's Run in 3 hours,
3 hours, yeah.
yeah, your owl doesn't take too long to fly up the road and see that there's indeed basically a caravan of travelers heading this way.
Okay. Anything special about these travelers?
Uh, well, there's a bunch of them who are basically all huddled together in what amounts to a single cart.
Okay.
And the cart is basically almost full to capacity
Yeah.
and is being basically is dragging along, which is probably one of the reasons it's not moving too quickly, is the weight ratio compared to the amount of weight a horse can pull on this type of cart is
Is it in danger of collapsing kind of thing?
no, because it's relatively well put together. However, you're fairly certain they're not. That's why they're moving quite slowly, and there's a lot of people there. There's close to 2 dozen people on this wagon, basically.
Anything about them that looks unusual besides the fact
Well,
tons
they
of them?
don't look necessarily well prepared for this journey. And in fact, the word that comes to your mind when you see them is probably refugees, or they look like people who uh have left wherever they were before in a great hurry.
Okay. Any signs of them being injured or anything?
Uh, no real signs of injury at the moment.
Okay, so is this the one wagon?
Just the one wagon, yes.
Okay. I'll inform you of this.
All right. Your owl also notices something else.
What's that?
Well, because I rolled really, 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 really badly on that,
Ah,
the your owl notices that there is some things chasing this wagon, and they haven't seemed to have noticed yet.
okay. What are these things?
Well, they look quite a lot like the giant spider that we fought on the plateau when Zorak arrived there.
Oh,
It's a long time ago. There are 3 of them pursuing this cart.
how long did it take my owl to fly there?
Uh, about 15 minutes.
How long before these giant spiders are going to be attacking this wagon, do I figure?
Uh, Probably before we can get there, if that's what your plan is.
Even as a giant eagle?
The giant eagle might be able to fly there quicker if you want to do that. Yeah, the brooms will not fly as quickly.
Okay, I will
Uh,
burn a 4th level spell slot.
all right. So you cast polymorph.
Fast polymorph.
So now there's a giant eagle in the streets of Lyria.
Yep.
People notice this and are suddenly rather shocked and alarmed, but also intrigued because, well,
I can do it at 5th level, and we can both fly there as giant eagles.
you could,
Or
or I could just get on your back,
all right, this
and
is
we could,
deja vu all over again.
and we could not waste a 5th level spell slot.
Yeah. All right, I do that.
Yes. So you take flight We know the direction they're in.
Yeah, I dismissed my owl.
All right. I just want you to roll. It's basically going to be a dexterity contest to see who can see how quickly you can get there versus you versus the spiders for all intents and purposes.
Well, what's the dexterity of an eagle? It's been a while since I've been one.
17 plus 3.
That'll be an 18 then.
All right. Well, that's a 19.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they're not as dexterous as the eagle, but they roll better.
Yeah.
All right.
Comes down to the end.
All right, hang on. There's one more roll that needs to be made here, just for fairness sake.
What's
Because
that?
there is a cart full of people.
Yep.
If the spiders are going to overtake them before we can get there, there is a chance they'll notice, and there's a chance they might be able to get away.
Increase the speed.
Yeah. All right. Well, they rolled a natural 19 without modifiers. Horses do have a bit of strength or dexterity. So I'm going to say that's going to allow them to stay ahead of the spiders just a little bit.
All right.
So what that means is the spiders are not going to be have basically overtaken the cart by the time we get there. They basically at the time we are flying, as you are flying in, the cart is coming along the road, and the spiders are all coming towards them. And then you see something unusual happen.
What's that?
The lead of these three spiders vanishes,
A phase spider?
and then a moment later reappears in front of the cart on the opposite side in front of the horses.
So is this a phase spider?
You may roll a nature check with the intelligence of an eagle, giant eagle.
No, yeah, that's right too. I have no idea. It's a giant eagle.
All right. Well, it's a relatively signature ability, so it's probably not too hard to figure out.
I know. I got a bird brain.
Anyway, however, I'm going to see if they can get the horses to stop. They do. Whoever is driving these horses has some animal handling skills, and also giant spiders appearing out of thin air is probably the sort of thing that will get horses to stop.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so it's not obviously there's no brakes. This isn't like on a car where there are brakes. They'd have to swerve and basically start slowing the horses down. So unfortunately, this does mean the spiders are going to be able to catch up. However, we are basically there now. If you want, what do you want to do?
Oh, I want to do a scene again from The Hobbit.
Mhm.
Needs to be a theme today.
Yep.
I want to swoop down
Mhm.
and I want to basically land on that phase spider,
Yep.
kick you off,
Okay.
and then I want to try taking off with the phase spider.
Okay, so this is going to be for all intents and purposes, a strength contest.
Yeah.
All right. So, uh,
Giant spiders are medium-sized creatures, right?
you are the same size as this thing.
Oh, so this might be a bit difficult.
You
Oops.
can still do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, I want you to roll a strength check versus the spider strength check, and I'm going to roll a dexterity check to try and roll as I am flung off a giant eagle
Yeah.
without any warning.
Well, it's not like I can warn you, but you're smart. You should figure it out.
Yeah.
All
Wow.
right.
Well, same number for both. All right.
What's the strength
You
of
get
a
to add
giant eagle?
3 to this.
All right. My contested strength check is a 14 then.
14. All right. Well, the phase spiders have an 11 plus 2 for a 13.
Whoa! Squeaked it by.
And I also rolled a 13 because I also rolled an 11. And I also get to add plus 2. So I roll off as you pounce for, or basically, pounce for all intents and purposes on the
Yep.
spider. And with your talons, you grab onto it and you're trying to pull it up into the air.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Should
this
we roll?
sounds like a good time to roll for initiative.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not time for initiative.
All right.
What's the initiative modifier for a giant eagle?
It's the dexterity, so it's plus 3.
All right, I got a 9.
All right, so I have a 16, which is the highest. All right, then we have the phase spiders, unfortunately. 13. All right, you said you have a 9?
I have a 9.
All right, that means you're next. What's your new hit point total? Not was a giant eagle.
I have no idea.
No, what is your new hit point total?
Oh, mine. 97.
Amazing. Even with a 20 constitution, I'm having to keep playing catch up with you. All right, and as a giant eagle for the moment, you have 26 hit points.
Yep, much fewer.
Yes, and you are concentrating on polymorph.
Yes.
All right, and then at a 7, we have the refugees.
Oh, I forgot about that.
All right, so at the top of the round, we have me, who has, and I've just done a tuck and roll off of the back of a giant eagle as it lifts a phase spider into the air.
Yep.
This is a unique way of entering combat.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. All right, so there's a cart of panicking refugees with on a horse-drawn cart, which is mildly which is still under control at the moment, and trying to break, while 2 other phase spiders come up behind the cart at the moment. So, what am I going to do here? So, having been flung in... Sorry?
I assume you're going to attack the 2 spiders that don't have a giant eagle on their back.
Yes, that is probably the best option. Yes, I think I'm just going to go with that. Alright, I'm going to move forward until both of the spiders are within, well, a 30-foot cone.
Oh, there you go.
Might as well try and get both of them. They're coming up. They were coming up behind the cart, trying to basically come in at from 3 sides with the one you just lift up in the air. So that works out well.
All right.
I'm going to cast Frost Breath on the 2 spiders down here.
Right.
Alright. Alright, so they both fail.
Cool. But they're phase spiders.
Yes.
Someone wants to say hi.
Hello, Tobias. I'm freezing spider solid at the moment. Can't
Uh-oh.
really see him.
What she really wants to do is eat dice.
Oh, you can't eat those.
All right.
There. Play them in there.
No, you can't go away with them.
All right. So, two of the phase spiders
Ah, I knew.
take 17 points of cold damage
Yep.
and are encased in ice. They come as close to as possible for giant spiders to scream as they are flash frozen.
Yeah.
They're still alive.
Okay.
They are encased in ice and they are not happy at the moment.
All right.
All right.
Their turn.
It is their turn. I want to start with the one that you are currently carrying.
Yes. Can it just phase out of my grasp? Or is it can only
We're
do that?
going to get to that in a moment. Now. So, I guess the real question is how high did you climb up into the air after picking this thing up?
I assume I'll be moving at half move rate.
Yes, and you had to dive down. Given that you have a alright, speed of 80 feet, I'm going to say you managed to get this thing 20 feet up in the air.
Okay.
Right. Alright, so yes, I think you managed to get this thing 20 feet off the ground.
So what is it going to do?
Unfortunately, there's absolutely nothing you can do to prevent it from using its Ethereal Jaunt ability, which is a bonus action. Now, unlike how this ability has been portrayed in certain other versions of Dungeons & Dragons, like Baldur's Gate 3, or the other or basically any of the Baldur's Gate games, really, if I think about it,
Yeah.
Ethereal Jaunt is not like Misty Step. They don't teleport. They enter the ethereal plane, so they plane shift, basically, to the ethereal plane.
Okay.
So that's what the face spider does.
All right.
From your point of view, it vanishes from your claws,
Yep.
and then falls. Because there is gravity in the ethereal plane.
Okay.
You don't suddenly get to fly. So it is going to fall 20 feet.
All right.
I'm going to give it a dexterity saving throw to see if it can mitigate some of this fall damage. It does. Alright. So it's going to only take half this damage. Alright, so we're going to take 7 points of falling damage, but I'll reduce that to 3. We don't know that.
Pouncing on that thing was pointless, I guess.
Yes. And then the other two do the exact same thing to escape the icy prison I've trapped them in.
Yep.
And then we can no longer see what they're doing. Because
Yes.
they are no longer on this plane of existence. They are in the ethereal plane. They are, for all intents and purposes, invisible.
All right.
We come to you now. You no longer have a face spider in your talons.
Nope. I land. I will stop concentrating on my spell.
Yeah.
And tell the people in the wagon to calm down. We're going to help you out here. Just continue along this road towards Lyria at a reasonable pace. And hopefully we'll deal with these spiders in short order.
Roll a persuasion check. We'll say with advantage, because we did come to save them.
Nine.
I'm going to say, with everything that's going on, with all the chaos at the moment, your role is not so much that you weren't very persuasive, it's just that over everything that's happened, you're not sure how much attention they're paying to you. They may
Okay.
or may not have noticed.
That's it.
Yeah. So
It's
their
their
turn now.
lives. If they get in the way of my fireball, it's their fault.
Well, they're currently, for all intents and purposes, are doing what you suggested.
Yep.
They've managed to get to swerve the horses off the road. They're currently failing to swerve them back onto the road, but the cart is still continuing as best as it can.
Yep.
Rather on the now uneven terrain. However, no one's fallen off yet, and the cart keeps going on towards Lyria for the time being.
All right, we need to wait for the space spiders to show back up.
So it's my turn. Well, I do not necessarily need to wait for the face bar to show up, so I'm going to reach into my component pouch and pull out some powdered silver and talcum powder and cast See Invisibility,
Oh yeah, it allows you to see.
which allows me to see into the ethereal plane.
That part of that spell has never been used in any of our campaigns.
Now, so I can now see the phase spiders.
Yep.
And I say, they are currently circling us. They also were trying to trap, basically, they were trying to circle around us and the cart. They failed to get the cart in.
Okay.
And that's basically all I can do because this is my action. But at least now I can point out to you where they are. But until they phase back in,
I can't
that's
do
really
anything.
all we can do to them.
Yeah.
However, these are predators.
Well, either they're going to run away or they're going to try and eat us.
Or they might still try and go after the cart.
Regardless, they have to come back into the real world.
Yes. Alright, I'm going to roll for the phase spiders. Who are you more concerned? What are you more concerned with? Alright. Apparently the phase spiders are intelligent enough to realize that their meal is going to continuously be interrupted if they leave us alone.
All right.
So, 3 phase spiders phase back into existence
Yep.
around us.
Cool.
Yep. So it's a bonus action to do that. Which means they have to stick around this time.
Yeah. Because they have no more bonus actions.
Yeah. But it does mean they can still attack us.
All right.
Alright. Each of them has 2 targets. Let's see what they're going to go for. The first one's going for me.
Okay.
Second one's going for you.
Yep.
And the third one's going for me.
Wow, this is weird. I'm not used to this stuff.
Alright, so they get to add... That's a total of 18. Again, on a hit against me. I do not have mage armor cast at the moment because this all happened relatively unexpectedly.
Yep.
So that is a hit.
Okay.
Alright. The second one on me is a natural 1.
Okay. Dice himself.
And the one on you is a 10.
Well, you guys aren't very good at this, are they?
No. Apart from the one that's biting me, apparently. Alright. So, D10 plus 2. Alright. Ow. I take 10 points of piercing damage.
Ouch. Oh, that sucks. Somebody wants out. Finally.
The spider's bite. So I took 10 damage from the spider's bite, and it's about to get possibly worse. No, it's not.
Do they have poison?
The spiders do have poison, but I have the periapta proof against
Oh, that's
poison.
right. Yes.
So I don't have to save for it, even though it's an abysmally low save. I am immune to their venom.
Cool.
It still hurts,
Oh yeah.
but not nearly as bad as it could have been. Alright, the phase spiders are not intelligent enough to realize that a magic item has protected me from their venom. So. We come to your turn now. There
Alright.
are 3 giant phase spiders surrounding us. So I wouldn't recommend Fireball.
Well, I could fireball everybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
No. Well, I can just magic missile them. Or what else do I have here? Again, I was not preparing, and this is my spell list is still set for the battle with Illuyanka. I don't even have Chromatic Orb prepared. Alright. I guess what I will do is burn another 4th level spell slot. Why not?
Alright.
My hit point total is now 157.
Oh, you're training the giant ape. Okay.
Yes. And that's all I can do.
Alright, so now there's a giant ape.
Yep. I'm thinking, hey, smorgasbord, excellent. Feed on this sucker forever.
Who knows what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Alright. The cart continues down the road.
Excellent.
Unimpeded by this point.
Yeah.
We come to me now. So I could cast Mage Armor. I could.
Yep.
Or I could, just do something to try and kill these spiders.
There is that, yes.
Yeah. Well, Frost Breath seemed to be rather effective the first time.
Yeah, did a bunch of damage.
Now, they're surrounding us, so I can't get all of them, so I think I'm just going to try and get the same 2 again.
The 2 that are on you.
Yeah, the same 2 that I got last time. I'm going to cast this Frost Breath at 4th level,
Alright.
because a bit more damage might be enough. Alright. That's a natural 1. And a 10. It's also a fail. Alright, 4d10 this time. Ooh. Oh, this is good. Except for that one. 28 points of cold damage.
Yeah, one of them's doubled, isn't it?
Yes, one of them doubles up to 56. I think that's the most damage I've ever done with Frost Breath.
Yeah. Is that one still moving?
Alright, so these spiders, for the first, I'll give you a description of them because they are this odd blue-white color, which is now being accentuated quite a lot as ice just forms all over their 2 bodies, and they are frozen ice sculptures.
Yep.
In the spring time at the moment. Yeah, they're not going to be phasing in and out of that ice this time. Alright. We come to the 1 remaining phase spider now.
Yep.
Alright. I'm going to give this thing a morale check because it is now massively outnumbered as opposed to outnumbering us.
Yep.
And there's a giant ape. Also to its friends, family, I don't know how spiders do that, are frozen solid. Are you going to flee? Yes, you are. It goes in back into the ethereal plane.
Oh. Means I don't get a reaction.
No, it is intelligent and its instincts are to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you can watch me watch it start running off. Now, there's nothing in its ability that says it has to come back into the material plane at any point, unfortunately, so...
Just run off in the
And just get away, I'm afraid.
Oh, well.
So I assume you revert to being human again.
Well, it's either that or you help the horses up to pull in the cart, but I don't want to do that, so.
Well, they're doing fine at the moment. They managed to get the cart back on the road, and now that everything is seems to be dying down, they're continuing on at a relatively more leisurely pace. They're not stopping. This has convinced them that they want to get to Lyria even more.
Do we want to talk to them?
Do we want to talk to them? Is the question.
Yeah, that's what I asked you. Do we want to talk to them? Or do we care?
Well, it might help us possibly find out why 3 phase spiders were attacking them. Then again, they could just be natural predators for all we know.
Alright, I'll cast the first level spell. Expeditious Retreat. Go catch up to them. Say, excuse me, hold on a sec. Spiders are gone. You can relax. Why is there like 500 people as this Volkswagen here? This some
There's
sort of
not 500
contest?
people.
You're trying to break some kind of record for, number of people transported in a cart? Or is there something more important going on?
Make another persuasion check to see if you can get them to convince them to stop.
6.
Apart from nearly giving the driver of the cart a heart attack, the fact that you caught up to them that quickly, and he
What, the giant ape and the giant spider, giant owl didn't do it. Sorry, giant eagle didn't do it. But
well, it's more like it's like a cumulative effect.
Yeah.
And he rolled a natural 1.
No.
But so the horses seem to. No, they're not stopping at the moment, unfortunately. He's kind of lost hold of the reins, and the horses are still going on.
Okay, I'll just jump up in the wagon.
Okay, you jump up on the wagon.
And
Are you going to try and?
I just want to ask people, like, where are you guys coming from, and what's the story?
Well, as you jump up on the wagon, dramatically, because there's no way to not jump up on a wagon that is not dramatically like this once in motion.
Yeah. Want me to roll a dex check for this?
Actually, yes, let's do that first.
Burn a point of luck.
That was bad.
Burn a second point of luck. Oh, that's going to be the last one, so.
Don't you have another point of luck left?
Oh, yeah. Oh, just stop with a 5.
Don't you get to choose which one you take?
No.
No?
No, you don't get to pick the best number.
All right. So you attempt to jump on the wagon.
Roll a natural 1.
You miss, fall backwards, and land on your back.
Okay.
And take 2 points of blood falling damage. Roll a concentration check for Expedition Retreat, please.
The way I've been rolling, what would be the point? Oh, now I roll well. God.
Okay. All of this display, however, has apparently caught some attention because someone on the cart says to stop.
Hey! Acting like a clown is better than doing really well, apparently. Well,
unfortunately, whoever's driving the cart has unable to get the reins back, and the horses are just continuing on their way.
All right.
I've caught up with you at this point and I'm helping you to your feet.
I get up, I run up, and I use my charm of animal influence.
Yeah.
And try and charm the lead horse.
So this is animal friendship.
Yep.
All right, so there's a saving throw involved in that.
It's a DC of 13, if I remember right.
What's the wisdom on a horse?
Can't be that high.
All right. For expediency's sake, because they roll a 12. I don't know what their wisdom score is, but because you can just keep doing this again, and this bit's getting a little out of hand. I'm going to say you've managed to charm the horses.
And then I'll cast Speak with Animals and say, okay, guys, time to slow down.
You
Stop.
technically don't have to cast Speak with Animals. Horses are used to, taking commands from people.
Yeah.
They may not speak common, but I think they would understand like halt.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I cast Speak with Animals anyway because I
You
don't
can
get
speak
to
with
use this,
animals, fine.
I don't use this charm very often. And say, hey guys, slow down, please.
All right, so in short order, you're able to get the horses to come to a stop.
So I asked the horses, where are you guys coming from?
Oh, let's see. The horses. That's a natural 20. The horses tell you that they have come from Burns Run.
Why did you guys leave Vern's Run?
Well, it's at this point that there's someone has made it to basically the front of the wagon for all intents and purposes, and is looking at it and it says, Jonas. You hear a familiar voice say.
I look in that direction. Who do I see?
All right, looking away from the horses, you look up into the hooded, weather-stained, and haggard face, but familiar face of Wendell Kettlewhistle.
Ah, Wendell! I go up, I speak to him in
Halfling.
halfling, sorry. I was gonna say hobbit. Grab him, give him a big hug.
All right. He is shaking. He is, like I said, weather-stained, haggard looking. Looks like he's had a harrowing journey. Looks a little malnourished now that you actually think about it.
Wow. Wendell, what's happened to you? You're later.
It says, Vern's Run has come under attack.
Uh-oh.
It says, it says, by the Court of the Seven. And that is where we're going to take our break.